Welcome to the Biz Builders podcast, where we believe building the business of your dreams can change your life. I'm your host, Sandy Patterson, former teacher turned certified life and business coach. After 14 years of teaching, I took a huge leap, left my job, and built 2 successful businesses with no business or sales background. Now I'm living the life of my dreams, and I'm ready to help you do the same. You're in the right spot here if you're ready to dig into not only the strategy of business building, but also the belief in yourself that building a business is possible. You're made for this, and you've got exactly what it takes to create the financial, time, and location freedom you're craving. Over here, we value progress over perfection. We embrace being uncomfortable, and we believe that anything, literally anything you want, is possible for you with the right strategy, mindset, and support. You'll also hear inspiring stories here and, of course, failures of women who are doing the same thing. The whole idea is if she can do it, so can I. Thanks for being here. Let's dive in. Hello, you guys. Happy Friday. George and I are just here in the car having a little quiet time, waiting for the boys to get out of school, and I thought I would pop on because I just got off of a call with a potential client, and she was talking about how one of her things that she's kind of struggling with, or she's having a hard time internally with, are that her clients are not getting results like she would hope them, that she hopes that they would be getting, right? And I know that in the beginning of our businesses, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to, if our clients aren't getting results, we take that as looking bad on us, we're not a great coach, we're not getting them results, but really it's not our responsibility to get anybody results. And here's the thing that I was telling her, and I think this needs to be said, and I think it's a great reminder for anybody who is out there in the beginning parts of your coaching business, and that is that sometimes yes, and I'm all about taking responsibility, so we're going to take responsibility, of course. But sometimes when your clients aren't getting results, it's not really a situation of you're a good or bad coach. And we just need to look at what types of people are you attracting to you and why. So let me let that sink in. What type of people are you attracting into your business and why? Because here's what not all the time, but sometimes, and this definitely happened to me too, so I've been there. In the beginning of my business, it was just really a matter of I just need to build my confidence. I just need to I need to get on calls with people. I need to, prove to myself and prove to the whole world that I can be a really good coach. And with that mentality, what was happening is I was I was going out and I was just anybody that'll work with me, let's work together, let's do this. And I was almost in a convincing energy, right? Convincing people to work with me, convincing people that they could reach their goals, convincing people that coaching was going to be great for them and that we were going to crush these goals, and convincing them that they could totally do this. And so we started off the relationship from that kind of vibe where I was more in it than they were, or I wanted it, I guess, more than they did. And so what would happen is we would get on calls and we would do our thing, and I was still in that convincing, trying to convince them and pull them along and okay. And then what ends up happening? Well, they don't follow through with their commitments. They are not doing the things that they said they were going to do. They're kind of in and out. They're rescheduling. So often they are just not getting the results that we as coaches want our clients to get. I want people to come in and get really good results, not because I need the validation that makes me a good coach, but because I just genuinely want to see women win, and I want to see women make money in their businesses, and I want to see women live life on their own terms and be happy and pick their kids up from school and all of the things. So now I just forgot what I was saying. We don't make it mean. No, that's not it. I do this all the time, you guys. I'm mid-sentence, golden nugget, and then I just completely goes out the window, and I know it'll come back to me, so that's fine. But it's a matter of looking at who you're attracting, because if you're attracting people that are not all in, or are not just their way of being, maybe they haven't convinced themselves yet that they can do it, then you're going to spend most of that relationship most of that coaching relationship continuing to try to convince them, and that's not good for you, it's not good for them, and we want our clients to get results, right? So what I was going to say too is that it allows you then, so when you have a really clear picture of who it is that you want to work with, and usually when I ask people this, especially new coaches, they'll be like, oh yeah, I totally know who I want to work with, and they describe like what the person does. Oh, I just gave myself a thumbs up. They describe what the person does. And like, they'll describe things like, oh, she's a teacher, or oh, she's a business owner, or oh, she's a mom, or oh, like the things that she does. And they never describe, or they rarely ever describe, who the person is. So how does she move? Like, how does she view mentorship? How does she view coaching? How does she show up? What kind of person is she? Is she the type of person that like needs a lot of convincing? I'm going to guess probably not. Is the person that you really, really want to work with, that you're just like so excited to work with and would like just love to duplicate her 1,000 times and work with 1,000 of this person? Is she the type of person that is not going to follow through? Probably not. Is she the type of person that like needs to be convinced to move? Probably not. She's probably the person that already is moving on her own and just needs a little bit of extra support or mentorship from you to make that happen. So if you take a step back and you're like, oh gosh, my clients aren't getting results, I'm a horrible coach, I'm a horrible person, like all of these things. No, you're not. Like, let's just take a look at who you're attracting and how you're also defining this higher level client. And when we say high level client, I call them like dream unicorn clients. It's not about how much money he or she makes. It's not always about that. That might be a part of it for you in your business, but it's not always about that. It's more about, who is this person? How does she move? How does she view mentorship? How does she show up? What are things that she's willing to do? Is she willing to get uncomfortable? Like, I know my dream unicorn client is someone who is really scrappy, who's really resourceful, who's going to do what it takes until it takes, and is going to find a way to make it work. And she's so excited about this partnership, about coming into coaching. She's so excited to do the work. She's thrilled to like, I don't have to like check up on her or like convince her or, micromanage her to like get her things done. Like, she's going to do it. And what ends up, when I made that shift, I guess, from these clients who I was like convincing and having to like pull along, eventually what would happen with those clients is they would just like disappear out of nowhere, or like mid-contract they would be like, I don't think this is working, I think we need to stop. And it makes sense to me now, because it wasn't the type of person that I want to work with. And so when I realized this and I started to shift both how I was showing up, how I was seeing my audience, how I was seeing my people that I wanted to work with, my messaging also shifted, my energy also shifted. And so with that came this, and like a lot of the pressure was taken off too, I guess, because it wasn't about, frantically trying to go out and find anybody to work with me. It was about going out to find the right people that were going to have this really solid coach-client relationship with, and that we were going to have a lot of fun, and we were going to do all of these amazing things and build these businesses and work on these mindset things. Once that shifted for me, that's when this situation, like the red flag situation of like, that's probably not my person, stopped happening. And now really I work with so many amazing women that are just, they're my dream unicorn client, because that's what I've defined, that's what I've called in, that's what I've shifted, and that's how I move now. That's how my energy is, and that's what my content and messaging also reads. So if you are in a situation right now, moral of the story, if you're in a situation, or you ever have felt recently, gosh, my clients are getting great results, like what am I doing wrong? What is wrong with me? Let's shift that to the like, who am I attracting? Who are the people that I'm working with right now? Are they actually my dream unicorn clients? And if not, that's okay. Like, just take a deep breath. It's okay. There was a point when I was like, I don't think any of my clients right now are like my unicorn dream clients, a point in my career, just because, not for any reason, like I loved them and I still do love them, and they were wonderful and great people, but just not they didn't move how I move, and they didn't move how I would expect my unicorn dream client to move. So just take a look at that. And it's okay. So if you're like, oh my gosh, none of them are, that's okay. Like, just take a deep breath, do what you can, do the best that you can, because we're always going to show up and do the best that we can. And of course we're going to take responsibility. Like, I'm not saying like, don't be the best coach that you can possibly be for them, and don't give them everything that they deserve and hold space for them. No. Do all of that, and then start to identify and start to think about who your dream client, your dream unicorn client is, and how, not just what she does or what he or she does, but how they move. What are their characteristics? What are their values? What do they, how do they view the coach-client relationship? How are they feeling about coming into coaching? And then from there, you can begin to shift how you see your audience, your messaging, your content, how you're speaking to these people, to attract them and bring them in. So, like always, drop any shares or any ahas in the comments. I love you guys. Thanks for listening, you guys. If you're ready to get your business going and making money and to step into that next level version of you, I would love to support you make that happen through strategy, mindset work, and my Cut the BS style coaching, because it's always better, quicker, and more fun to have someone who's already been through it support you. Shoot me a message over on Instagram with the word ready, and we can chat and get your questions answered about coaching and how I can support you. I cannot wait to hear from you.